Okay. Let's see if this fucking thing works now. Because the internet decided to fuck up and it wouldn't connect. And then my computer froze. So I had to wait for that to fucking work up again. Shut her down manually by shutting it off and then letting everything reboot. I Today is just not my fucking day. Let's see. I am exhausted, and I wasn't even able to finish my fucking goddamn train of thought and the fucking shit that's been happening this week. So I've deleted. Okay, so I've deleted the original video. So I'm gonna have to re-explain everything. I'm gonna have to re-explain everything. Give me a second so I can grab my soda because I actually, this, it is insane how long it takes my computer to boot up. I passed out for probably like 10 minutes. I fell asleep for 10 minutes because I laid down on the bed because I was like, no, wait. It's taking fucking forever to load everything and get Skype up and Steam and Google Chrome's to fucking work again. I'm just gonna relax and just listen to some Fleetwood Mac. And I woke up and I was like, oh fuck. So let me grab my drink. Also, I'll fucking grab this because I gotta clean my lunchbox up. I grabbed my combos. There we go. Fuck. Also, funnily enough, 4 ticks swarmed at my left forearm right when the stream was ending. Right when my internet was fucking up. I feel some weird tingling sensations on my bicep and forearm, and I look and there's 2 ticks on my forearm and they're just getting ready to fucking bite down, and then there's 2 of them and they've already latched on. So I had to fucking kill those things. Lovely. I'll get into the fucking story of those ticks in a moment. Scissors. Scissors. Okay. All right, so where to begin? All right, so I'm part of the landscaping crew. And I've already talked about Chris once before because he's the one that fucked up the clutch on one of the lawnmowers. And I've mentioned Josh, who's my boss on the landscaping crew. So this whole time when we've been doing yard cleanups and shit, any kind of landscaping job, it's me, Josh, and Chris. And I fucking despise having Chris with us because Chris is an idiot. I hate saying it. So, wait till you hear, Sten. Wait till you fucking hear what's happened in the past 2 days. So Monday, Josh, it's just me and Josh. We lay down some mulch. Kind of a rainy day, but fuck it. We gotta lay down the mulch. Did that for probably 5-6 hours. Back, and then I was hauling fucking wet cement to lay down a foundation. And that was it. Pretty uneventful day. I mean, like, me and Josh get along pretty much fine. Like, he'll tell me what to do. Like, hey, you gotta do, like, we gotta do this. Like, just whatever. Usually he doesn't even have to tell me what to do, and I'm already doing it. Give me a second. All right, so Josh usually doesn't have to tell me anything. Beginning like start of the day, if Donald, my boss, my actual boss, tells him like, Josh, take Darth with you. He'll be like, oh, and he'll say what houses we have to hit for the day. Like immediately, Josh does not need to tell me like, grab the rakes, grab the blower, grab the fucking weed whack. None of that. Doesn't have to fucking tell me a goddamn thing. I already know what the fuck I have to grab. So as soon as he tells Josh like he's taking me with him to the fucking sites, I'm already grabbing the gas, the mixed gas and diesel gas. And I'm walking out the door with my shit, like my lunchbox and stuff, with the gas cans in hand. And I'm walking him out to the 1-ton truck, or the 1-ton, and putting him in the back. And then I immediately go to the shed or the shack, grab the tools, and start throwing them into the back, into the bed. Get everything all set up. And then all we have to do is we have to back up to the trailer that has the two lawnmowers, the two industrial lawnmowers that we use. And bam, we're gone in less than 10 minutes. Tuesday comes up. Tuesday comes. Chris comes in. And I was sitting with my father that morning, and I was like, boy, it's a little rainy right now because it was like a light drizzle in the morning. I was like, I bet you Chris won't come in. I'm hoping Chris doesn't come in. And my father goes, never say never. Well, my cousin Brandon, who lives in town, he needed work, so he's been hired as another landscaper. He comes over, starts talking to me and my father while we're having our coffees. In walks Chris. Fucking great. Chris is going to be working with us. So, Donald says, Josh, take Darth, Brandon, and Chris. Do the houses you need to do. Great. So I'm doing my normal routine. Brandon's right behind me because he's worked off and on with Donald for a while, so he's not a complete idiot. Chris is just standing around in the shop right next to where Donald just did not fucking move from where he, like, as soon as he walked into the shop to wait for Donald to come in. I've already got all this shit in the back thanks to me, like, because me and Brandon did it. Josh comes out. I'm like, where's Chris? He's like, he's still fucking standing in the shop. I'm like, well, fuck him. Back the 1-ton up. Let's get the fucking trailer hitched up, and we can maybe possibly ditch him. He's like, I can't. My fucking grandfather, because Donald's his grandfather. He's like, well, I'm like, all right. Now, the 1-ton is has a very spacious cab for 3 people. 3 people will fit comfortably in there. Now, I've never heard of man spreading. I found out about it because of H3H3's video that BuzzFeed did, like the weird fucking crazy, like, fringe society feminists that were like, oh, men spread their legs and there's like a 4-foot gap between their knees and like they're taking up whole seats. I've never seen a guy do that before. Give me one memento. Gonna send a text. So, I've never seen somebody man spread that far. Never. Like, I have a lot of guy friends. Most of us have around like a 6 to a foot in, like a 6 inch to a foot gap between our knees. like all legs are V-shaped when you sit down. It's the natural, comfortable position. When you have your legs closed in, it's not that comfortable. Your knees, you have to like manually keep your knees that way. At least for me. At least for me, when I have to have my knees close to each other, I have to actually keep them close. When I'm not thinking about it when I sit down, 6-inch gap between my knees. It's just the comfortable, natural thing. And I've seen women do it. But I'm getting off topic. Kind of. I have now found what these people on BuzzFeed were bitching about because Chris does that. Chris has a 4-foot fucking man spreading gap between his goddamn knees. So much so that he takes up 2/3 of the fucking cab's, the 1 ton's cab seat. And he has a Little Tikes colored. It looks like a Little Tikes lunchbox. He keeps that on his lap, and he throws his gloves and his safety glasses because he loves his weed whacking. If he's doing landscaping, oh boy, that might be fucking Google's fault. Let me check just in case. Let me check my internet. I actually have to write down my hours. Yeah. Okay. I am caught up. Awesome. How's it now? Should be okay. Everything seems come on. Let me end some of these processes. The internet should be working because my net's fine. Like I just opened up Facebook just to see. Usually that I'll open like if my internet's fucking up, if Facebook won't open or Yahoo won't open, then yeah, my internet's completely fucked. I'm gonna have to reset it or. But so. Fucking scissors. God damn it. I'm a fucking wreck right now because I'm fucking tired. But so Chris takes up the seat every time. He's been doing this since I've started working there last year. Josh and I have consistently told him. Everybody has consistently told him. Chris, move your goddamn legs. And he will say, and I'm going to mimic him 100%. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not like, this isn't hyperbole. This is exactly how he sounds when he responds to you. Chris, can you move your legs? You're taking up too much space. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was, taking up space. Is that better? Like, that's how he sounds. He sounds like a fucking zombie. So, there's 4 of us. 4 people should be able to fit in there. It's going to be a little snug. Should be manageable. Not with Chris around, because Chris still tries spreading his fucking legs. Tuesday fucking morning. First thing I say, because I'm second. I'm right in the middle, right next to him. He's sandwiched between me and Josh because Josh is driving. I'm sandwiched between him and my cousin Brandon. Brandon's on the passenger side door. He's trying to spread his legs. And people might be going, he's only trying to spread his legs because it's uncomfortable. Because there's a lot, like, there's the dashboard and stuff. There's about a foot fucking gap between his knees and his shins to the dashboard. There's plenty of fucking room. Plenty of leg room. There's no reason why he should fucking spread his legs that fucking far. But he doesn't. And I tell him, once again, Chris, close your goddamn legs. There's not enough room to do that. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. And Josh just turns to him while he's backing up. He's like, Chris, I've been telling you for years now to stop fucking doing that. Every time anybody comes into the fucking crew cab or the 1-ton or any truck and we need to fucking bunch up in it, people have told you that. I've told you that. And then he starts giggling. So I'm like, here we go. Here we fucking go. So we get sent off to an ice cream parlor that is owned by Josh's aunt. So we go there, and there's a bunch of fucking picnic tables. There's like 6 on one side, and it's kind of like a curved straight line, per se. And they have snow stakes inside of umbrella poles to keep them from falling out and wobbling around when the wind's going, and they have the umbrellas open. And then there's like 10 in 5 in 2 columns. So there's 10 on the other side, and that's right behind another part of the parking lot. So what you do is, when you go here, because I've done this about 5 fucking times in the amount of time I've worked there, when you get to this parlor, ice cream parlor, the first thing you do is you take out the stakes, take out the fucking umbrella poles, and then you push and stand the fucking tables up. So they're standing vertically upwards. That way, when you're mowing, you can mow, and the bag, the big metal fucking basket bag that's on the side of it, won't hit the fucking table. It won't fuck up anything. So everybody fucking files out of the fucking goddamn thing. Chris is still sitting there because he's trying to fidget about with his safety glasses because he's immediately going to get the mower. Oh, I'm sorry, the weed whacker. I totally forgot. Donald's son-in-law, he was tasked with mowing because we have 3 mowers. He was getting a mower. I threw in 1 weed whacker because we only needed 1 weed whacker. That's it. Chris, in his fucking wise, unfathomable wisdom, decides to grab the 2nd weed whacker and put that in the back with a fucking hedge clipper. Not once did we ever use the hedge clippers. We never use the hedge clippers unless the job literally states we need hedges clipped. Or there's a lot of vines. We need those clipped and removed. So we get out. I open up the trailer. I pull the fucking the planks off because that's how you fucking roll. You basically roll the fucking you roll the mowers backwards off these planks. You move them out of the way so then you can do the 2nd one because we only can fit 2, and then you take the bags off or the cages, and then you hook the cages up to them, and that's it. Yes, he grabbed a hedge clipper. Loves hedge clipping, and he loves weed whacking, and I'll explain why in a minute because it comes full circle. It comes full circle in the first day. So, as soon as I'm done offloading the mowers, I leave Josh to his own devices because he's going to put the bags or the cages onto the mowers, and he's going to check the gas and oil. I immediately go and I tell my cousin Brandon, help me flip these up. I start flipping them up, taking the poles out, taking the stakes out of the ground so the mower doesn't hit them, and flipping the fucking tables up. Chris is just watching me and my cousin do it. And I turn and I look at Josh, and Josh is watching him, and he just shakes his head, and he opens up the gas can, and he just keeps going about his business while Chris is just watching us do all the work. So we get all the fucking tables done. We get them all lifted up. Chris is already weed whacking. And he doesn't need to weed whack yet. Because what he needs to do is he needs to wait for all the tables to be lifted and for me and Josh to start mowing. Because he won't know where to weed whack. And if he does weed whack, he's going to be in our fucking way. So Josh gives me the red fucking mower that I've possibly, I've talked about. It's the one that the clutch got blown out of. That one has a wire cable. And that wire cable is you need to plug into a little fucking circuit box. And that little circuit box is how you turn the blades on. He gives that one to me. He's not going to give that to Chris. He's going to take the John Deere one, which is the nice green one that actually, it works. Everything on it works, and it's fucking nice. Except for the front right wheel. That one's a little squeaky. It might be the ball bearings have completely been blown out, and they're just completely spent. So we might have to fucking put new ball bearings into it. But he gives that one to me. I shift into first gear. I start mowing. That's it. I start mowing. And Josh told Chris, don't weed whack. Brandon, my cousin, grabs one of the weed whackers. He starts weed whacking the other side because Josh told him, go weed whack that because there's not a lot of stuff that you have to actually worry about when it comes to me mowing because it's far enough away from me where you'll finish it before I'm fucking even there. And weed whacking this place is about a 5-minute job. There's one telephone pole. There's a fucking dumpster next to one of the sides of the parking lot. And the shack itself, the ice cream parlor shack thing, is probably like a 20 by 20 base. And then there's a little shed next to it. And that's probably a 10 by 10. Like driving onto the grass and that's it. That is it. And there's a big fucking cattle farm pasture that's right there. Done. Maybe railroad ties in between them because with weed whacking like that, he's done it all. So he puts the weed whacker away. Because there's big holes. My God. All you can hear is the sound of the string just clipping and fucking. Because it's buried in fucking. Doesn't know what the fuck to do, so he steps back and he almost falls over. And I'm like, Chris, just stay away. I got this. I just have to mow this. Start flipping the. No me gusta. No me gusta. Nope, not liking that. Magically get booted out and then just magically pop back in. Can you hear me, Sten? Is the lag gone? Because I don't know if, like, how far into that fucking diatribe I got cut off on. Don't threaten the internet with a sledgehammer. Threaten the internet provider with a sledgehammer. I'd just like to say, this is off topic. Combos, pizza flavored combos, are fucking delicious. God, they are. It's like eating. If anybody's ever smelt like an authentic pizzeria before, like the smell of all the seasonings and, like, I hate saying it, but the grease. I don't like a really, really greasy pizza, but if there's a little bit of grease on the pizza, totally fine with that, because that's usually like meat, like the fat coming off of like the meat, because I'm a meat lover's pizza kind of guy. I always get some kind of meat on my pizza, so just accents it. But like the smell of an authentic pizzeria, like that, like pizza flavored combos. Actually, they are actually called pizzeria combos, or pizzeria pretzel, pizzeria flavored combos. So they taste like a pizzeria, and it fucking tastes amazing. So, going back to the story, I start my second pass. Chris is trying to weed whack where he doesn't need to weed whack, which is underneath the fucking tables. And I tell him, Chris, get the fuck out of the way. Start flipping these tables back, standing them up the opposite way. Because I have 2 more passes, and I have to mow. He just stares at me while I'm walking by him mowing, and he walks off to weed whack another spot that's already been weed whacked. So as soon as I turn around thinking, hey, all the tables have been flipped, because some of them are a little heavy. I admit some of them are a little heavy because they're like probably, I'd say 8 foot, like 8 to 10 foot long ones, and they're all damp, so wood kind of fucking likes to retain water. So wet wood is heavier than dry wood. But he can fucking knock him out in the time it takes me to walk fucking 10, 15 yards. It's a pretty small fucking place. We finished it in like 40 minutes. And the reason why it took us 40 minutes instead of like 25 minutes is because I had to stop fucking mowing, turn the blades off, lower the throttle, and then walk up to every single fucking picnic table and flip them over and have them standing up on the opposite side so I can finish my passes. Watching me when I was halfway done with that. So I walk back. I'm already in a bad fucking mood because of the way Chris has been acting. Like, my cousin's just sitting in the truck because he has nothing else to do. Just told him, like, that's it. Like, we're pretty much fucking done. Me and Darth are going to be able to finish mowing, and that's it. We're going to load them up, and we're done. So Chris just because Chris had nothing else to do. He just watched while I fucking mowed 2 more passes. I fucking lowered, as soon as Brandon, my cousin, saw me lowering down all the tables, he actually came over to start fucking putting the stakes and then the fucking flagpole, the umbrella poles onto the fucking stakes in the middle of the fucking picnic tables. Chris didn't. Chris just watched. Just kept watching. So after I did all 6 or 7 on my side, we then walked over to where Josh was finishing up, and we put all 10 of those down with the poles and stakes in. And Chris just stood next to the truck, staring off into the vacant void that he apparently envisions, or only he can see. Then once it was done, I load my mower on. Josh loads his mower on. I put the ramps up, close up the fucking trailer, and then we put the cages on, and we tossed everything we used there back into the truck. So then we all fucking sardine ourselves back into the fucking crew cab. Oh joy. And Josh immediately says, wait a minute. And he gets out and he stands over at the railroad ties looking at the fucking picnic table. And my cousin and Josh hop out and they follow him because he told them, like, you two, come here. I'm smoking a cigarette. He goes, you guys see anything wrong with this picture? And Brandon's like, I'm not seeing anything wrong. Maybe the tables are a little skewed because there was a little bit of space. Like the legs were actually supposed to touch. And Josh was like, no, not that. Chris goes, I don't know what's wrong. Josh goes, you see the yellow grass where the fucking umbrella poles go? That's because somebody keeps burying the head of their weed whacker into the ground. That's killed the grass. That's not going to grow back for a long fucking time. And that's going to turn into dirt. So that means when we mow, we're going to be picking up fucking dirt. Or if it's raining, or it rained the night before, or that morning before we left, or any time where it's soaking fucking wet, the mower's wheels are going to sink into that fucking dirt patch. And there's going to be fucking 16 or 17 of them. Keep it 2.5 inches above the grass. That's where the mowers are set. Do you both understand me? And so my cousin apologized because he didn't know, even though he didn't fucking weed whack that. And Chris just didn't say anything, and he just walked into the fucking crew cab, and he sits next to me while I'm smoking my cigarette, and he turns to me and says this. So does that mean Josh doesn't want us to weed whack around the umbrella poles? I'm like, no, Chris. He doesn't want people burying the head of the weed whacker into the ground. You got to keep it leveled with the ground and just mow it so it matches the height of what the mowers are set to, which is 2.5 inches. Oh. Okay. And it's like, you can't be this stupid. Not 30 seconds have passed. You didn't hear what Josh just told you? At all. You didn't hear what he said. And then Josh comes in, my cousin comes in, and Josh is like, the next place we're going to be going to is going to be a big fucking place. So if you guys want something to drink or eat before we go out, tell me now. Chris is the only one that speaks up, and he goes, well, I guess up at Dunkin' Donuts and get an iced coffee because it might get hot. I don't know. That's up to you. And Josh is like, all right, then fine. We'll stop for fucking Dunkin' Donuts, or we'll just stop at a gas station that has one. We stop at a fucking place called Valero that has a Dunkin' Donuts built into it, and like a chicken restaurant now. I hopped out. I grabbed some fucking snacks, 2 bottles of Coke, and some bottles of water. My cousin grabbed some water because he didn't have anything. He didn't bring a fucking packed lunch, so. He grabs some things to eat. He grabs some Dunkin' Donuts, and then we're all back in the fucking crew cab. And we're driving to this place. Now, this place has a big fucking problem with water and mud. Because this lawn reminds me of the fucking trenches in France. Like French fields. Doesn't know anything about French fields or French soil. Water, for whatever reason, and it's probably because of how much air pockets there are in the soil in France, water just is retained. So it becomes almost quicksand-like, in a sense. Sort of like World War I, and you see like how deep your fucking, like, the soldiers' feet are in the mud. That's basically what it is here at this fucking house. Especially in the field and in the backyard. Especially in the backyard, because it's built on a hill, and the backyard is essentially a gully. So it becomes a swamp. And you have to mow it. So we go there. There's a big, long, winding, like maybe 60 feet. No, way fucking more than 60 feet. Probably 100 yards. Probably 100 yards. It's a pretty long fucking driveway. And there's some grass on either side. Hedges on one of the sides of the driveway. And on the left side of the driveway, when you're going up to the house, there's the big fucking hill that's built upon, and then a big swath of fucking hill of fields to the left of that, wrapping around half of this house. So Josh tells me, "You're taking the green one." Okay. And I forgot to mention this, on the way to get Dunkin' Donuts, because Chris wanted his Dunkin' Donuts, he began asking, does anybody want to swap? Does anybody want to swap for mowing? When I'm done weed whacking, I'll swap off and, like, I'll start mowing, weed whack or something. I don't know. And it's like, no, you're weed whacking. You always weed whack. That's even if there's nothing, there's only going to be one person mowing and there's three of us, you're the first fucker to grab that weed whacker so you can just fuck off. That's basically why he grabs the hedge clippers. Because if Josh tells him, no, you're not weed whacking, Darth's weed whacking, he'll grab the hedge clippers and he'll just stand and look at a bush. And he'll just rest the hedge clippers on the bush to just pantomime that look at this, I'm working. And it's like, the fuck, dude? So nobody else was going to take up the mowing because Josh has to go back to the shop to pick up Haitian because Haitian's mower's not working. So he's like, one of you other guys is going to have to mow. Brandon immediately grabs the weed whacker. He's like, I'll weed whack. Boys. I'll bang it out. Then I'll grab the rake and rake up the clippings that from Chris previously last week. Chris weed whacked the fucking clippings he had. And he did it after on through. In this area, and in this area you have to weed whack first because it grows really high and sometimes the mowers can't reach it. That way the clippings will get sucked up by the mower and you won't have to rake. Well, he left a fucking probably 10 pounds worth of fucking clippings. So now there's fucking dead clippings all over this green grass. So Brandon volunteers to weed whack and break up all the fucking dead clippings. Chris also failed to mention to Josh because Josh was showing me how the owner wanted the lawn. Instead of it being horizontal lanes, he wanted it vertical now. So after I was done mowing it, it'd be a checkerboard. as we're walking through halfway past the hill, there's 12 big fucking grooves, tires, the back tires of a lawnmower. And Chris was the only one there, meaning he was given permission to use the lawnmower. Yeah. In the fucking mud and ruin this guy's field. And because of the way he did it, and because of how deep it was, there were puddles, meaning that whole area was now going to be soggy and I would sink in. Give me a second. Let me refresh. Because maybe that'll work. I don't know. Okay. That is weird. Fuck. Testing, testing. 2, 1, 2. Not a man. Not a damn team. All right. Well, fuck. Uh, um, Oh, fuck. This is curious because for some fucking reason, the video that I posted, the one where my internet crashed, was like 39 minutes long. Meaning it worked, but for some reason, it's not working on. It's not working for you guys. For some fucking reason. I gotta tell Sten because he can't hear me. Sorry for the loud noise. I'm just really lazy and tired. So, where did I leave off? Oh, yeah. The mowers. So, we get the fucking mowers all set up. I'm taking the green one, the John Deere. Fucking Chris is taking the red one. So that was it. Josh hopped into the fucking 1-ton, drove off to the shop to pick up Haitian and drop him off somewhere because I guess the mower had broken down. I don't know. But yeah. So now, when you mow with one of these fucking industrial-sized landscaping mowers, you're not supposed to go anywhere higher than when mowing tall grass because you'll blow up the clutch. I put mine in second. I lined myself up to start edging out the yard. Basically, the lawn that's on the driveway, I was going to do last. I was going to do that last. I was going to do the field first because the field was fucking massive, and then do the backyard. So I do the lineup. To the right of me, I keep hearing this loud, rackety banging. And I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck can I hear this over the sound of the engine at full throttle? It is Chris steering as best as he can the red mower in fourth or fifth gear. Fourth or fifth gear. And it is bouncing all around because the faster these fucking things go, any little bump will make them fucking just airborne. They will be bouncing all around with the suspension. So that means that the fucking blades thing that holds them is also bouncing up and down with the mower. Like cutting, not cutting, cut. Like there's patchwork everywhere. Clumps of uncut grass just where he had just walked over because it just keeps bouncing around. I'm not even gonna fucking deal with it. Not even gonna fucking deal with it. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna do the hill and the field and half the backyard, and then I'm gonna just the front fucking like the skinny fucking part of this because it was really skinny because most of it was fucking dirt because of the pine trees that were right there, which is awesome. That's why I love pine trees when I'm mowing half the fucking time. And so I start mowing. And it's not that bad. It was pretty manageable for a field that size. Or some complications halfway through because of how wet some of the spots were. So the grass was starting to clump up underneath in the casing for the blades itself. So I would have to just put my foot on it, leverage it up so it's standing on the back wheels, and then drop it back down on the ground so the front wheels hit the ground. And that usually rattles the fucking grass clippings that have been clumping up to the side of it and dropping it down. So I was like, awesome. Getting this shit done. And I'm doing it perfectly. Everything is straight. There's no fuck ups. I'm trying to be as cautious and as slow as possible when I'm going over the fucking ditches that Chris dug into the ground. Fucking bro, in the first hour I must have 12 to 14 barrels to the brim, probably 100 pounds worth of fucking grass clippings. That's how much grass was there. And so I'm tossing this, and I finally get done with the field and the hill, and I'm done with the hill. All done. Thank fuck. I start coming back down. Chris comes up. Do you need me to weed whack? Because I finished mowing everything in the back. And I've been keeping an eye on Chris over the because it was like 2.5 hours we had been working. And Josh hadn't come back. I saw Chris just zigzagging everywhere. He didn't do once you start a path, you have to stay lined up with that path. You can't mow a lawn, you can't go across the lawn horizontally and then do one vertically, right in the fucking middle. And every fucking which way, because the grass is going, the grass clippings and the way the grass is cut is going to show the markings from where the blades were moving it. See, baseball fields, they have the dark then light columns of grass. That's because they went up one way and down the other way, because the grass has been pushed from the blade movements. So you want that on a lawn. If you do it the way Chris is doing it, it's a fucking hodgepodge of fucking just a mess. So I'm like, well, I could use a guy helping me with the barrels over here and doing this. And, we don't really need a weed whacker because Brandon did all the weed whacking. And he just wanders off. And I'm like, well, I guess he's going to grab the weed whacker, and he did. He grabbed the weed whacker and he started weed whacking. And then once he realized he didn't need to weed whack back, and I was already finishing my fucking side. He went back up, grabbed a rake so he could rake all the fucking clippings that he just laid down. Anything funny about Chris's side of the lawn that he was mowing? He goes, not really. Why? I was like, he's in fourth gear at least. The entire fucking time you were gone, bouncing up and down. His fucking patches here and there of fucking tall grass. Also, he wasn't going in straight lines. He was going every fucking which way he wanted to. So the lawn has been perfectly done. The other half's a shambling fucking mess. Great. Oh well. bitches and complains, Chris can come back and he can do it the right way. So I'm like, all right, you're the boss. And so we load everything up, get everything all straightened out, and we all hop back into the truck, into the crew cab. And it's like, can't wait. Can't fucking wait. Because now we're going into the easy part. All of the lawns that we did afterwards were just like probably not even 1/8 of an inch to it. Let's see. And so we're driving down the road to our next house. And fucking we start I did start asking. But basically the conversation that we were all having kind of just devolved into wondering, like, what is going on with Haitian? What was wrong with Haitian stuff? And so pretty much told us the belt fell off of one of the wheels, so the brake lines weren't working. So that can kind of fuck up, on. Muffler fell off of the fucking thing. And Josh had even said, I've used that thing for 2 years and the muffler never fell off of it. So kind of suspicious. And just happens to use the mower and the muffler falls off and he gets a free pass into not working for 2.5 hours while it's being fixed. So Chris starts laughing. The kid who has blown out a fucking $600 clutch. The muffler can just be bolted back on. Like there's some lug nuts that just you can unscrew them and they'll start getting rickety, and then you can just washers there, put a new thread on it or a new fucking lug nut and just screw it in. Bam, done. You fixed it. And even if that's the case, even if the muffler got ripped off by a fucking, I don't know, baseball bat or something, it's only going to cost like $40-$50 for the new muffler. $600. And he goes, oh God, idiot. He doesn't know how to use one of these mowers. Hey, Josh, I had a question. That red mower, who was it? Haitian that blew out the clutch? And Josh just looked at him and goes, no, there's a fucking idiot in here that blew out the clutch. And silent. The next 20 minutes until we got to the fucking house. Josh's aunt's house. And there was, surprise, surprise, nothing to really mow. Like, we had mowed it not even 5 days prior. So I put my mower in third gear because I knew, like, it's not going to fucking pick up anything at all unless it's like a stray weed or something. Josh is going to have the wonderful duty of collecting the grass clippings in the barrels that we have and just hauling into the tree line because there's nothing else for him to do. Weed whacked it in 5 minutes. Chris he takes the red mower, puts it into fourth gear or fifth gear, through it, bouncing as he goes. Josh next to me, like, what's going on and if I need help. Chris told them, no, I'm fine, I can do this by myself, or some fucking excuse I don't fucking know. Okay. Says, Darth, come over here. So I walk over to the green mower. With the shifter, hello. Hopefully it works again, because apparently I got booted out again because it said the video call had ended. So, yeah, I tell Josh I shifted into first and it stayed in first the whole fucking time, and then I loaded it on and I turned it. I locked in neutral with the hand clamp brakes, and then I turned it off and it stayed in first gear. The big field, the house with the big field. He goes, all right, just making sure my fucking suspicions are correct. And I'm like, well, what are your suspicions? He's like, well, somebody has broken the fucking shifter on here, because now there's nothing but play to it. Fucking stay in a certain gear for so long until it hits a bump, and then it either will go into reverse, neutral, second, third, fourth, fifth. I don't know. I don't know how badly it's fucking damaged, but it's probably because of all the fucking bouncing she's been fucking have done to her. Well, that fucking sucks. You just put a fucking brand new clutch in it a couple weeks ago. So it's like, we load it up, barely, and we go to another house. Use the red mower this time. The green mower, Chris and my cousin are going to be weed whacking. We're done in 30 minutes. And now it's around, this whole time, because we started at like 6 in the morning. It is now like 2:30 in the afternoon. So we got about a half hour before we're supposed to end work. Never happens though. My boss calls Josh, tells him 1 ton for a load of sawdust, taking the actual crew cab, which is just an F-150, with fucking yeah, it's just an F-150. It's a normal pickup truck that has a trailer hitched to it, so we can pull the trailer. So like, one of your guys is gonna have to. So now I'm thinking, great, either me or my cousin's gonna go, because Chris is the golden child. Donald will not fucking let him go until it's 3 o'clock, and then he'll let him go, because Chris gets to leave on the fucking dot, and Chris doesn't come into work when it's fucking pouring rain. So we're like, well, fuck. Who's got the straws? We'll pull. We'll see who's got we'll see who's gonna go. Chris immediately starts saying, well, it's almost 3 o'clock. I need to leave. And my cousin's like, where are you gonna go? Like, you don't want extra hours? Fuck it. I run when I go home. Okay, you can't run like after you get home, like an hour from now, like at 4 or 5 or whenever, like we're told we're done for the day. He's like, nah, 3 o'clock's when I stop, because I get tired. And I'm finally fed up. I'm like, yeah, it must be really tiring just standing there watching everyone else do all the work. And Josh just smiled, fucking laughed, and my cousin starts laughing, and then it just went over his fucking head. He starts laughing because everybody else is smiling or laughing, so I need to be part of the group. Beep, boop, beep. And so we finally just decide, Chris, you're going home. To the shop and drop you off. It'll be 3 o'clock, and then you can fucking leave. So we swap, we go to the final house. We banged it out. That was it. That was it for the day. That was it. I weed whacked. My cousin used one of the we brought a push mower. He used the push mower in the back because he only needed the push mower, and Josh used the green mower. Tuesday. Wednesday comes. As in today. Now, usually, Wednesdays, because he has school. And sometimes, even if he doesn't have school, he just doesn't come in on Wednesdays. Who the fuck knows what he does on Wednesdays? Paint dry. And so, same fucking thing happens. Fucking, we load up. We're getting all set. We load up the mowers. We get all the way to the industrial park to mow. Task of mowing with Chris. And I'm like, great. What could possibly go wrong, Josh? He's like, well, just keep an eye on him. Be keeping an eye on him because I have to keep an eye on mowing and weed whacking when I'm done. He's like, well, just try and keep an eye on him. So I start mowing. Well, actually, no. I start offloading the fucking. The mowers first. The red one does not want to move. Moves about 2 inches back and then it locks up like it has the brakes on. I'm like, oh, here we go. It's barely fucking moving. The shifter's still fucking, the shifter's busted. Chris, you're getting that fucking one. Darth, don't fuck up the green one. I'm like, I'm not gonna fuck up the green one. I know how to fucking mow. I'm like, I know. I'm just add a layer of you gotta take care of the fucking things. So a certain somebody will know. And same thing happened as Tuesday did. Chris puts it into fucking 4th or 5th gear. He speeds through it. He's doing. He even now we're doing an industrial business that is working right now. There's a parking lot filled with at least 100 cars. There's a hill that we had to fill up and like level again because the plows this season when we were plowing snow fell up. So there's a bunch of giant fucking rocks, like golf ball size, like just big fucking stones sticking out on here, and it's all loose still. He goes right over it. Now, know what happens when you run over a fucking loose rock with a lawnmower, just a normal lawnmower, it usually sucks it up and shoots it out. Tennis ball machine. Fucking shooting machine. He's next to cars. And I'm halfway, I'm exactly parallel to him on the other side of the fucking parking lot. And as I'm looking, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, please don't fucking have a rock go flying and smash out one of the windows because I don't want to fucking deal with that. Nothing happens, thankfully. But I still have this bad feeling in the fucking pit of my gut. I'm like, something's gonna happen to that mower. He is beating the fuck out of it right now on it, and then he's gonna come to me. So about an hour goes by. I finish the front of the house. Not the house. I finish the front of the building area. I finish the side of it, and then I finish the. There's like a half circle where they have trees growing on the parking lot because there's 2 entrances. So it's the half circle or the quarter circle, I should say. Quarter circle's right between the 2 entrances. I do that. Weed the beds where the mulch is. Chris took the fucking weed whacker with him, so I couldn't weed whack. So I was like, well, I guess it's his monopoly. He has to weed whack at all fucking times. I empty out the last of the grass clippings that I had just picked up in barrel because I was like, I'm not gonna fucking like what little is left in it. I knock out the fucking wet grass from underneath, and I'm scooping that up and throwing that in a barrel. Waddling over robot, and I'm like, oh no, why is he walking over here? My mower, the blade shut off, gone, like the wires busted. Can you fix it? Let me check it, Chris. And he's all the fucking way across. He's like fucking 200 yards. He's in the back of the fucking building, so I walk over. How the fuck he snapped the fucking wire, but it's the main fucking wire that does not fucking move off that fucking circuit board, and he snapped it right the fuck out of the socket that holds it. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I need fucking wire snips to fucking fix this. Call Josh. You should have called him immediately. Chris. About 30 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago, and you didn't call Josh immediately? time of 30 minutes. Ask him for wire cutters. You do that, Chris. Oh, I want a weed whack. Can you bring the mower to the spot where the 1 ton so we can load it? How much of this did you get done? Well, this area done, and the area over there done. Now I didn't do. Oh my god, I gotta fucking mow this fucking whole area. So I bring my fucking mower back there. I finish what he fucking started. Parking mine right there, and I'm sitting there on the fucking mower with my fucking head in my hands going, why? Why do I have to fucking deal with him? And so Josh comes back with him because my cousin had to sit at the shop because we already had another fucking person coming with us. This chick, Christine, she was going to weed out the fucking islands in the middle of the fucking road. And so me, and he goes, how the fuck did he do that? And I was like, I have no fucking idea. He was in the back. I was just finishing up the front, and I was cleaning up the green mower of grass inside under the blades. I weeded the fucking beds here. I mowed everything. He took the weed whacker with him instead of leaving it with me because I told him I'd be done before he did. Fucking surprise, surprise. So, you know. Well, you're not going with us. You're getting dropped off, and you're going to be mowing my father's house. 2 other houses that are right down the street. And I was like, oh, thank fucking Christ. Is it just going to be me? He's like, well, I'm going to have to babysit Chris because he's fucked up the goddamn mower and get a new wire. So we have to bring him back to the shop. So I'm dropping you off first. So be sitting there with him. So I got dropped off. I did my work. I spent the whole fucking day till around 4:20. Yeah, around 4:20. So I got fucking 10.5 hours today. But yeah, not get to see what happened. But I was told when everybody came back. Apparently, Chris used that same mower again, and they got a new wire for it. It fell out. So now that mower needs a new fucking wire because we're going to have a fuck ton of work to do. And that depends on if it rains or not. And if it doesn't rain, Chris is going to be in to deal with him fucking destroying that thing again. Just, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what the fuck to do with this kid, and I'm gonna have to fucking babysit him. So I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm hoping he just doesn't come in, and we're gonna be like mulching or doing something else that he's not gonna be fucking a part of tomorrow. Like if he actually does come in, I don't want to work with him. So that's the bullshit that I've had to fucking put up with. 2 days. One mower, the same one in 2 days. And then not a week ago, he blew a $600 clutch out of the fucking thing. I can't even remember how long ago it was. It feels like just yesterday he blew out the fucking clutch. I'll probably do an update Saturday. How he broke the fucking mower on Friday. And possibly Saturday if I'm working Saturday. So now because I'm guessing fucking YouTube is being a cunt and is like, oh well, you can only stream for, like, you can only show 15 minutes. So everything uploads. If not, I'm gonna be thoroughly fucking pissed.